Hello, welcome back. My name is Sarah Nicole Nadler, and today I am very excited to do this extra special free training for you guys. So come on live, let me know you're here, let me know where you're calling in from, what kind of business you have. Today we're going to be talking about 5 different profitability strategies that I really reach for first when I have a business that's struggling with profitability. The reason why I wanted to talk about this topic specifically and why I'm doing a live outside my Facebook group, which never happens. If you know me, normally I only go live for my paying clients inside my Facebook group, but I'm doing this one extra special free training because tomorrow is it's National Mom and Pop Business Day. And I thought that's so cool because I actually grew up with a dad who is a business owner. And so I know what it's like to be the daughter of a business owner and see your parents kind of struggle with profitability, and then also the plus side of that, because my dad is actually a really good example of a business owner. He always had time for me. He was always making the time to say hello. And if I ever asked him to be at something, he would be there for me. My parents are divorced, so my mom had a 9 to 5 and she couldn't do that, right? Like if I had a show, she'd have to take time off from work to come see it. If I had a game to be at, et cetera, it was a little bit harder for her. Whereas my dad, successful business owner, knew how to do it right, did not trade time for money all the time. He has people work for him so that he can buy his time back from them, right? Which is one of the strategies I teach inside my coaching program. And so I wanted to go on live today and talk about that really good example he set for me and the 5 strategies I reach for when a business comes to me and they're struggling with profitability. The business owner is working too many hours, working too hard every week. Hey, Amy, it's great to see you. I'm glad you came on live. Let me know, you guys, as you come on live. Let me know where you are, what kind of business you have, and I'll try to tailor my examples to match your business, okay? So I'm going to talk about these 5 strategies. The first one is really strategy 0. It's a bonus strategy, but it is having a business budget in place, a written budget. So go ahead and comment in the chat for me if you're on here live. I want to know, do you have an actual budget for your business? Most entrepreneurs I speak to, even well-established business owners, I have clients who are making 7 figures, 8 figures, and even some of them do not have a written budget when they first start working with me. So of course, we're going to struggle with profitability if we don't even have a budget, right? So that's really square 0, I think. It's not even a strategy. It's just get that thing in place. And in fact, in honor of tomorrow, I wanted to share a freebie resource that Ben and I put together for you guys. If you don't already have a budget in place for your business, head over to my website, sarahnicolenadler.com/financeforbiz, and you can grab our free worksheets, which will help you to put together that budget for your business. All right. So that's square 0. That's not even the first strategy. Now let's talk about the first strategy. When a business comes to me, they're struggling with profitability, and I go, okay, what's the first thing I look at? The very first thing I look at is increasing the prices for that business. I'll just take a look at your pricing strategy. And here's what I'm finding, right? I'm finding that most business owners will look at what their competition is charging and then try to price theirs competitively. Meaning they try to be a little bit less or get a little bit more value for the same price or be a little bit cheaper, right? So here's the main problem with that strategy. You go a little cheaper, then your competitor finds out about it and they go a little cheaper, then you go cheaper, they go cheaper. And the next thing you know, you're both out of business. And the third business swoops in, the one who wasn't pricing themselves competitively, the one who was charging more than either of you, swoops in and gobbles up all of your clients because you both went out of business because you were so unprofitable. Okay, so we can just see, like, we look down that road, where does pricing yourself competitively really lead, right? Instead of leading with the price, we want to lead with the value and really price our offers in a way that we're looking at it from the top bottom, from the bottom to the top. So in other words, we want to look at, okay, what's it going to actually cost me as a business to deliver stellar services person? Meaning if I had the best virtual assistant, if I had the best employees, the best equipment, the best marketing, what would it actually cost you to deliver the best service possible? Okay. cost all of that out, do a costing analysis, right, for all of that, and then do a markup. Sometimes the markup is as much as 65 or even higher, 65% or more, right? I would say 65% of a markup is like just okay. So we want to price it all out. What would it actually cost you to deliver the best service, way better than your competitors could possibly do? And then price it at least 65% higher than that. That kind of pricing structure will give you the marketing, give you the self-care, give you the time off, give you the everything you need to show up as your best self and constantly do the best job for your clients, which will get that word of mouth marketing going and increase your profitability. Okay, so that's strategy number one, is making sure we're really pricing your services correctly. Amy says, I need to make a budget for my business. It seems hard during that first year. Yeah, you know what? That's very true, Amy. In fact, I would say that in that first year, any kind of business budget you could possibly put together is going to be a guesstimate at best. But I will also say we can only make smart business decisions based off of the knowledge that we have. So if you aren't getting that data, if you aren't looking each month at what did I spend, right? And using that to guide your purchasing in the future, then you're just shooting in the dark, right? So even if you've only been in business for a single month, it's still better to put together some semblance of a business budget and really be tracking your spending as much as possible. Really great point, Amy. Okay, so that's strategy number one, is really pricing your services correctly. One thing I like to point out to people is if you're having any kind of mental gyrations around the idea of raising your prices, which I think a lot of, especially new entrepreneurs, but even well-established businesses are like, oh, I already hear the price objection too often. I can't raise my prices, right? I want to point one thing out. We're not asking to raise the value of what you are worth, especially if you're a solopreneur. I hear this all the time, right? We're like, oh, well, I'm charging what I'm worth. No, you're not, honey. Okay. You are an infinitely powerful spiritual entity that has no price tag. Okay. It is impossible to put a price tag on a human being. Okay. It's just impossible. It's impossible to put a price tag on a human being. And if you look at it, like if I were to take you right now, if I were to take you and I were to sell you on the black market, no amount of money would be worth what that human being was worth. We don't allow slavery in the United States, right? So there's no price tag. There's no price tag that's going to make it valuable enough for me to sell you. So stop trying to sell you, right? Instead, look at the value of the service you're bringing, right? If they were to go try to do this themselves, how much is that going to cost them? Your price is probably cheaper, no matter how high it is compared to your competitors. So really stop being so afraid of actually charging what the service is worth, not what you are worth, because that's infinite, right? What your services are worth. That's what we're going for when we're pricing things. Okay, let's look at the second profitability strategy. So let's say I'm looking at a business, their pricing is it's perfect. I go, yes, you're charging enough. I can see there's a good margin there for doing specials around the holidays. There's room to make discounts occasionally if we need to, etc. Good. So now what do we reach to? Is that the end all be all of profitability in business? Heck no. Okay. So the second one is increasing your sales. So you're doing all this effort in the marketing end, right, to generate these leads. These leads are coming into the business. We'll get to lead generation in a minute, but these leads are coming into the business, and what percentage of them are you closing? That's the next thing I reach for. Because if you get 10 people on a sales call with you and you close one of them, that's 9 times as much money as you collected that you left on the table, right? You let those 9 slip through. So what's happening with those 9? Are we following up with them? What was the objection? Is there sales drilling being done regularly by the sales team or by the entrepreneur if it's one person in the business, right? Increasing your sales. Even if I just went from 1 out of 10 to 2 out of 10, I just doubled your revenue right there, right? So I usually keep working at the sales process, grooving in sales as a subject, removing mental blocks, removing limiting beliefs, the person's own money mindset, what level of exchange they're delivering, right? I really dig in on the mindset and the skill sets around sales until we get every salesperson in that company or the entrepreneur themselves, if they're the only one, closing at between 80 and 90% of every sales call that gets in front of them, because I can't talk today, blah, blah, blah. Every single person who gets in front of them should not necessarily say yes, right? There's always going to be 1 or 2 out of 10 that aren't a good fit, they didn't have the money, etc. But for the qualified leads getting in front of you, meaning the person was at least somewhat in the ballpark of being a good fit for your business, you should be able to close 80 to 90% of those people. And if you're not, there's either a mindset or a skill set that's preventing you from doing so. So that's strategy number 2 that we're going to dive into when we work together, is looking at your sales and making sure that you're actually building that skill set, right? Because that's what's going to bring the profitability without having to add more time and more effort to your schedule, right? We just get you closing more of the people you're already talking to. Number 3, strategy number 3 for profitability. And this is packaging up your expertise in a passive income way. Now, there are a couple of different ways we can do this. There's group coaching, there's online courses, you can do a hybrid of both. But especially in this day and age of the online world, your expertise, the things that you're really good at, your zone of genius, you might say, those things are highly valuable, highly commoditized in the modern world. So why not take what you know and package it up and sell it as its own offer in your business? Now, for some of you guys, you're already doing this, so really well done. But for those of you who have more of an offline business, like a gardener, a hairdresser, a doctor, right? Any of these things where you're viewing people one-on-one and dealing with them every single day, you have an expertise that could be compartmentalized into some kind of signature program that you could then sell, sometimes for thousands of dollars. And it doesn't take any more time or effort on your part once it's built. So we put in the effort at the beginning. In fact, I'm doing this with a client right now. He's a he's a dentist, highly successful dentist, has very, very successful company and sells products online. Like, he's got his supplements and things that he sells. Now we're taking his expertise and turning it into an online course that he can sell as well. So just realize that that's a whole nother game part that you can add profitability to your business without having to add additional people onto your schedule if you're seeing people one-on-one, okay? The 4th strategy is taking a look at how much you're spending to attract those leads. Remember, I talked about the sales, but now we've got that whole machine, which is marketing. Marketing's job is to create want for your services, right? So we have social media posts and advertising and billboards and things like this, right? Going to networking events, however it is that you're doing this, whether online or offline, you're generating leads. And we want to look at your customer acquisition cost. Okay, CAC, write that down. Your customer acquisition cost is how much money is it costing you to acquire one new customer, right? To get someone on a sales call and get them to say yes. How much money are you having to spend in advertising? So if you know your CAC, I want you to type in the comments below, CAC equals and what yours is, all right? Right now, mine is about $50. To acquire a lead that I turn into a sale, it's about $50 in advertising or $50 in different gifts and events and things like this that I'm doing. There's all kinds of marketing that's happening in my business right now. So for me, it's about 50. Comment below if you know what your customer acquisition cost is. If you don't know this number, girl, you don't have a business. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, this is probably one of the most important numbers you could be tracking, KPIs that you could be tracking in your business if you're in that scaling mode. If you're in sort of like, I've got as many clients as I can possibly see, and you're more focused on systemizing, you're more focused on hiring, training your team, and you're in that stage of business, then this is probably not as important for you. But if you are trying to attract as many clients as you possibly can right now, you have to know what your CAC is. And if you don't yet, that's something I would start focusing on. Good. Amy says she needs to work out that number. Yeah, brand new info. This is great, right? So what you want to do is look at how much you're having to spend in advertising, or how much you're having to spend in, maybe you've got an employee who's doing the sales process for you or who's posting for you, et cetera. How much is it really costing you to attract that person? And what we're going to do is we're going to then look at that advertising budget and see if there's a better way we could be attracting clients that's cheaper than what you're doing now. That would be my strategy number 4. If someone comes to work with me having some kind of profitability issue. And the number 1 place I usually look is in my 3 R's, okay? The 3 R's are referrals, reactivation of past clients, and re-signups, meaning finding something else I could sell the person who bought something from me before. So if someone, let's say I'm a Walmart, someone came in and they bought shoes, well, then I'm going to promote to them that we also have Shoe Shine, right? That would be an example of a re-sign up, something that someone will need because they already took your service. That's re-sign ups. Referrals is instead of paying for advertisements, instead, we incentivize our existing clients and our warm audience to bring us referrals. So we're getting word of mouth marketing, which is much cheaper than paid advertising, right? And then that third R was reactivation, keeping your list of past clients and past prospects. People who said no to you 6 months ago might say yes to you today. Could be that they just weren't in the right place, the right headspace, they weren't financially prepared, their business wasn't ready for you yet, whatever that looks like for you. But keeping those old lists is a great way to attract more clients without having to spend more on advertising. So that's my fourth strategy is we look at your customer acquisition costs and we try to reduce the CAC and make the new clients go up. If we can reduce the CAC, like let's say by half, and make the clients stay the same or go higher, we just improved the profitability, didn't we? Right? Because we got the same or more new clients and spent less money doing so. Okay, so that's step number 4. And usually it's going to be around one of those 3 R's. Now, the 3 R's, again, I teach these inside one of my favorite mini courses that I have. And in fact, it's only $17. So if you guys want to learn about the 3 R's, then comment 3 R's below and my team or I will make sure you get a link to that $17 mini course. Okay, best 17 bucks you'll have ever spent in your life. Okay, and then my 5th strategy is looking for parallel offers. So I want you to think about this. And if for anybody, I'm going to scroll through the comments, see if anybody told me what kind of business they have. If you're on live, tell me what kind of business you have and I'll come up with some examples for you. But finding parallel offers is around, we want to look at what we offer and who our ideal client is, okay? And then right next to that, we want to write down all the other types of businesses that serve the same audience, but in a non-competitive way. So obviously I'm a business coach. I'm not going to go find other business coaches and sell their products. That just would not make any common sense, right? But what does someone need if they need my services that I don't offer? Well, they probably need a website, right? They might need an accountant, a tax guy. They probably need a business lawyer. See, I'm making this list of parallel services. Now I can reach out to the best lawyer in town, the best tax accountant in town, the best web designer I can find and tell them, hey guys, I've got a beautiful list of your ideal clients. I'm willing to promote your services to them for free if you will give me a discount or give them a discount. So I'm creating this network of affiliates, essentially, people I will recommend, and I will only recommend vendors who get on this list, right? If you've had a recommendation from me about, something for your business, it's probably because I've tested that company, they're tried and true, they've done a great job for my clients, and either I'm getting a kickback, and I'll usually tell you that, or they're passing on some kind of discount to you that you would not otherwise get. You couldn't find it on their website, okay? So these are great examples. Amy says, for example, she's building a digital course. She's also in network marketing. Amy, you got to tell me what kind of products you sell, right? Otherwise, I can't really come up with some parallels. But if you want some examples, let me know. I will absolutely create that for you. So selling parallel offers is another way to increase the profitability of your business without increasing the amount of work and effort you have to do. Because while you're in the conversation with that client, you just refer them to this other company and you get some kind of kickback from that company, right? Whether it's a discount on your own services, like when it comes around to tax time, you get your taxes done for free, or you get actual money, cash for referring that person, right? So this is a great way to add some money, some revenue into your company without having to spend extra money. Amy's doing health and wellness. Good. So let's say your product is solving a problem like weight loss for people. Good. Someone who loses weight is going to need to go shopping, right? They're also probably in the process of losing weight going to need dumbbells or need some exercise equipment, or right? So start thinking about what are some parallel things that they will need because they bought my product, right? Because they bought my product, now they have these new problems that you don't solve, but someone else does. So you can have someone pay you to send your clients to them, right? So you're not having to do the delivery end, but you are getting some cash from that. So these are good relationships to develop with entrepreneurs or other businesses that you really trust. The one thing I will warn you against is don't just randomly sign up for affiliate marketing for companies you've never worked with, because every time they do a bad job for your client, it reflects poorly on you. And your client comes back to you going, why did you refer that person to me? And that's not a fun experience, right? So I only refer people to companies that I've had a really good experience with, or I put them through the ringer. I say, look, I want you to do 3 of my clients for free so I can see that you're going to do a good job. And then maybe I'll send you some people after that and you can charge them. So these are my 5 profitability strategies. If you're looking for more step-by-step, like handheld action taking coaching through all of that, and you want to increase the profitability of your business without increasing the amount of time you have to spend in the office every day, then feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to work with you. You can reach me at sarahnicolenadler.com. Thanks again, you guys, and I'll talk to you on Wednesday inside my Facebook group. Feel free to come. I'll talk to you soon.